Namaskar. Landmark decision from the Supreme Court of the United States, 6-3, saying that the Trump administration cannot levy tariffs on a particular law. And I'm going to talk to you about what is it that the court ruled. Three things that we are going to take away from this. Number one, what is this new 10% global tariffs? Number two, are the tariffs going to be eliminated? Number three, are there going to be any refunds? All three are going to be discussed in this short monologue. A request to all of you to please like this video, and if you have not subscribed to our channel, to subscribe to our channel. Here we go. What happened? On February 20th, 2026, the Supreme Court ruled 3-4 that the president exceeded executive authority by using 1977 IEEPA to impose sweeping global tariffs. See, it is narrowly interpreting what the president used, that particular rule of 1977. It does not say that tariffs cannot be levied, period. And it also does not say that there are other things by which he can, in fact, still levy tariffs. So it's a limited ruling for only one thing. What does this mean? Because what the Trump administration did was that they said they came out swinging, essentially. There were speeches by 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗏𝗏, by Stephen Miller, and a 45-minute press conference by Trump where he basically ran down some of the justices. But there's also other things that he praised, other justices who he felt were more positive to or more aligned to his point of view. The verdict was 6-3. It was not unanimous. So there were 3 dissenting justices. Now, what is the reasoning that they give? Let's take a look at that. The reasoning is that Article 1 of the Constitution clearly assigns the power to levy taxes and tariffs to Congress, not the executive branch. Now, the major questions doctrine says, if Congress intended to grant the president such vast economic power via the IEEPA, it would have done so explicitly. Since it has not done that, therefore, the president cannot levy tariffs on using that particular rule. Then what happens? Can the government still levy tariffs? Yes. The ruling only blocked IEEPA. Congress has explicitly delegated tariff powers under other laws. So what it means is that you can use these 3 sections, 232, 301, and 122, to levy taxes or tariffs, I should say. So now what has happened is Trump has levied 10% global tariff, that means for everybody, using section 122. So we are coming to the specifics now. So global tariffs 10% has been levied across the board to all countries, overall countries, using section 122. But that section limits you to using it for only 150 days, which is 5 months. So something else will happen in between this time. For now, the 10% tariffs are there. The question now is, what does this 10% tariff mean? Well, according to White House, this is the interesting part. I have given you the link. You can watch the video in that. That link is in the reference links section of the description of this video. And according to White House, all those countries who have already got a trade agreement in place, such as India, to all of them, their new tariff rate is not 18 plus 10, rather it is just 10%. It is just 10%. Okay, so this is not me saying it. I watched this video just moments before I came live, and I put the link. Take a look at that and follow this thing closely. There will be 2 or 3 more such videos that we'll be putting out in the near future, so you get clarity on the topic. So essentially, the tariff rates are coming down for India from 18 to 10, according to my understanding. But take a look at it, because they're explicitly mentioning India in that. So that is the global tariffs, 10%. I've also talked to you about tariffs being able to continue. Yes, tariffs can indeed continue. Third thing, refund. What is the status about refund? Are there going to be refunds? Well, the refund part is not completely touched by the Supreme Court. Essentially, the ruling does not say that you need to refund all the tariffs collected. No, it doesn't say that. In fact, a lot of interesting things are happening after that. The governor of Illinois has sent a bill to White House saying that this is the amount of refund we are due, and maybe other blue states might follow suit also. So story is getting a little interesting there. But the refund, there is no mention of the refund in the judgment. That means, to me, that means that there is scope for keeping it and using it for some other purpose, maybe. I don't know. This is something that's at the discretion of the government. And it also doesn't mean that, since the judgment doesn't say anything, it doesn't mean that that money has to be returned. It could be kept in abeyance for some time while the government thinks about what are all the other things it wants to do. The other stuff here is, how do you take a step back and look at what happened? The Supreme Court of the United States had a 6-3 Republican Democrat majority, meaning of the 9, 6 were Republican judges or Republican nominated judges or Republican leaning in their judgments judges, and 3 on the Democratic side, which means 3 Republican judges turned the other way. Other 3 stayed with the Republican Party mindset. Now, Trump has taken pot shots at these justices. He said that there were considerations other than law for their decision. And he also took pot shots at a country he did not name, not countries, country. He said that I know who argued and I know, what they did and so on and so forth. So now what we are seeing is perhaps a fight between the executive and the judiciary. And this has happened in India also, and I'll come to that in just a moment. So here, whatever the judiciary does that contravenes or overrules what the executive does, the executive will turn around and pass the law or change the law to suit its ends. When have we seen this thing before? Shah Bano judgment. Rajiv Gandhi government, despite having a monster majority, did exactly that. Or take a look at what the Modi government, when they had a very healthy absolute majority, still overturned a Supreme Court judgment on the SC/STs filing cases against others, where the Supreme Court said that some due process must be followed, that somebody has to double check that the allegation is indeed true before you allow for the case to proceed. But within a few days, the Modi government turned around, overruled that, and changed the law again. So this is not something new. Why you should not feel good or bad about it. In fact, if what I said, that so White House has clarified that since the new global tariffs are in place, it's only 10% for those countries who have already signed. If you were negotiating at this point of time, you would not have got this privilege. So that means it's actually good news for India. So the optics and the understanding and the analysis, these are all not along the same line. I just want us to be aware of that. Go through it. There will be more things coming during the day. Listen to what 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗪𝗏 said. Listen to Trump's press conference. That's pretty long, 45 minutes long, where he took pot shots at many people. So just look at all that stuff before you make up your mind. And if you happen to be interested in how it affects various countries, that White House clarification also talks about other countries and says that all these countries also will now be paying only 10% tariffs. But as for the average American, what's going to happen is, where is this 10% going to be levied? Are the producers going to eat it so that the prices stay the same in the market, or are the producers going to pass it on to the customers who will be taking a brunt of this, who will be bearing a brunt of the shock? Also, last year it is believed that the average bill went up by $1,000 because of all these taxes and tariffs to the consumer, $1,000 last year. And that study omits to say whether it is $1,000 a month. I think it was $1,000 a month. So your bill went up by $1,000 a month because of the tariffs in 2025. So how does the American average Joe see all this stuff? Well, the only answer you will get is at midterms time, But you can expect the Democrats to jump up and down from here until then, saying how unjust this is. And that's all I have. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.